Welcome to all of you. We are going to continue our session of a smart study at the rate UPSC. Okay. Today I will attend mains answer writing practice session. This is the first session about how to write the answers of mains questions. Okay. GS paper 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we will deal with today. Fine. A special news for all of you that due to some technical reasons, some network issues, tomorrow class will be off. Okay, and from the day after tomorrow we are going to start that current affairs classes and all the other preliminary and mains 6-hour lectures. Okay, so tomorrow class will be off. Okay, so this is an announcement for you, so I hope you don't mind it at all. Fine, so let's start. Okay, see, yeah, as I'll also show that today we will deal with previous year mains questions that will tell you and something that analyze about how UPSC is regularly asking the questions of GS paper 1 to 4. Okay, so let's move to the number 1 questions. Okay, don't wasting the time and move to the number 1 question. Now see, this is 2019 questions. Okay, just 1 year or 2 year back. Okay, this question has come. So I am reading the questions. The question look little bit bulky, but this kind of question regularly asking by UPSC. This is a question asked in past year in 2019 by UPSC. Okay, so this is not a kind of equivalent question. It is the same copy paste question. Fine. So let's see. I am reading the questions. Hear me clearly. Okay, number 1. Do you agree with the view that a steady GDP growth, okay, and low inflation have left the Indian economy good shape, give reasons in support of your arguments? Fine. So let's see. First of all, just analyze the questions. What the question is actually demanding. First of all, see here. Do you agree? It means if yes, if you agree with what the total statement is saying, then what are the facts you are presenting while you are agreeing with this statement. If you are not agreeing with this statement, then what are your facts and figures, okay, your logics to tell your the facts that no, in my opinion, no, this statement is not correct. Okay, so first of all, it's asking your opinion that do you agree. Okay, and I have told you during the last class of essay that try to neutralize yourself. Okay, just try to neutralize yourself means don't move totally in positive aspect and don't move totally in negative aspect. Okay, fine. So keep in mind in mains paper 2. So keep in mind in that part. Now let's see. Do you agree with the view that, now a statement starts, that a steady GDP growth means not a sloping one, not this kind of, okay, just in this way. Okay, fine, this kind of growth, a steady GDP growth, GDP growth. So what is GDP? You will all get in the economic lecture. Okay, while we will read about Indian economy, you will definitely get about what is GDP, okay, what is NNP, all the things related to it. Okay, I am not here to explain what is GDP and what is inflation or deflation, stagflation. Okay, I will not tell about it. Little bit I can explain, but I am here to mainly tell you that how to start, how to introduce your answers of GS paper 1, 2, 3 and 4, how to write main body of your mains answers, okay, and how to conclude that. So you can see here that now the statement start that a steady GDP growth and a low inflation rate or simple inflation. Always keep in mind, I am telling you one fact. See, inflation right now this is so in the matter, inflation part is so in the issue in the news right now at the present time in Indian economy because of so many reasons. Okay, because of COVID and because of earlier steps taken by the government of India and RBI too. Okay, so yes, inflation is high at right time, fine. But since it was a 2019 question, so we will stay on it. Okay, just assume that you are on not in 2021, you are in 2019. Okay, so assume that first of all, only when you will able to qualify it. So the statement is that a steady GDP growth, okay, a steady GDP growth and low inflation, okay, low inflation, normally it's whenever the prices of essential commodities increase, okay, then we will say that yes, there is inflation in our nation. That's a normal thing, that's a general view, okay, that's a general view, overall view, okay, in a general way. Okay, that's when the prices of essential commodities increases, okay, then we can say that yes, there is somehow inflation in Indian economy, fine. So if there is low inflation, see, even low inflation or high inflation, both are not really good for Indian economy. There should be a balanced inflation, okay, balanced, always there should be balanced inflation in Indian economy or any other economy. All the nations always try to balance their inflation, okay, not too much low or not too much high, okay. So is a steady GDP growth and low inflation have left the Indian economy, okay, left the Indian economy in a good shape, okay. So the 2 points, main 2 keys, that a steady GDP growth and low inflation. So what do you think about, what's your opinion about that, both those points, that is a steady GDP growth and low inflation, okay, and low inflation will left the Indian economy in a good shape or not, or in a bad shape, okay. The question is not asking about bad shape, okay, just stick on it, stick on the questions. Is good shape or not, not about bad shape, it good shape, if yes, present your facts, logics. If your opinion is not, then present your facts and logics, but always try to neutralize yourself, okay, some positive aspects and some negative aspects too, okay. Your answer should be in this way. So what's your arguments in support of it? Now let's see. Good shape, give reasons in support of your arguments, okay, give reasons in support of your arguments. If you are supporting this statement, okay, from here to here, then give your arguments, okay, in support of your opinions. If your opinion is in contradiction with this statement, then too you have to give your opinion, okay, with your arguments, your facts, figures, okay, but that should be governmental facts, okay, Indian government facts, okay, not by any news channels or any other sources, okay, unauthentic sources. Always try to put the figure with authentic sources like PIB or even the Government of India records, okay, Parliament records. So what do you think, okay, what you should try to introduce, how to introduce the answers? First of all, let's see one thing clearly, okay. Most of the students, what they do, that whenever they will read the questions, okay, and they pick up both those key points, that GDP and inflation, okay, then they thought that now I have the command on these questions. They always thought that I have the command on this question because I know about GDP and inflation. But no, students, this is not a general exam, okay, this is something special. That's why it's an civil services examinations. The question is not asking about what is GDP or what is inflation or low inflation. The question is not asking about that, okay. If UPSC wants that kind of question to ask, UPSC can ask generally that just explain about GDP and inflation, okay. But the most of the students actually mistake here. What they generally do, that they start and they introduce their answers that with the definition of GDP, okay, and inflation, okay, at the same time point, okay, at the same point they actually mistakes and they give too much lower scores, Definitely they will give, because actually what the question is demanding, you have to write only those sentences, because generally it's in 150 words. Fine. So almost only you need, almost you can say that almost an average 15 sentences. Okay, 15 sentences. So 4 sentences introduction. Okay, and after that you have to main body and feed for finally concluding your parts in 3 to 4 sentences. Okay, fine. So you can see here that only 150 words you have to impress the examiner with your answers. Okay, so try to understand the question, that what question is demanding. Is question asking about GDP, that what is GDP, or is question asking about what is low inflation or inflation? Not at all. The question is asking that still in 2019. Okay, don't take yourself at the present time, stick in 2019. Okay, and now think that what this statement says. Okay, read the statement. A steady GDP growth and low inflation. If, now analyze, if a steady GDP growth will present in Indian economy and low inflation will present in Indian economy at the same point of time, both are presenting at the same point of time. Okay, so you have to provide the answers by coordinating both of the key points, not separately. Okay, not like that a steady GDP growth you will read about. Okay, and you can write that a steady GDP growth about 75 words and the remaining 75 words about low inflation rate. Not at all. Don't do these kinds of mistakes, otherwise you will not going to qualify these examinations. What you should do and must do, I will tell you right now. Just stick on the same questions. Okay, I am erasing it so that I can explain the whole things easily. Okay, now listen carefully. See, this is the statement. Okay, fine, this is a statement as I have marked it. Okay, now let's see. The question is asking about your opinions. So is a steady GDP growth and low inflation rate at the same point of time. Okay, a steady GDP and low inflation, if both will continue at the same point of time, both will run, okay, simultaneously at the same point of time in Indian economy, then is both of those providing a good shape in Indian economy? Okay, what do you think? Okay, it's upon you. Okay, what you think, but always try to neutralize yourself. Okay, your answers must be like some of the good things and some of the little bit criticizing one. Only few points you should criticize little bit. Okay, about low inflation. Okay, fine, you can criticize little bit about low inflation, that there should be always balanced inflation. Okay, whenever there will be permanently low inflation for a too much time frame, okay, then there will be difficulties for the Indian economy. You can say it, but don't criticize with a larger view. Okay, a broader view. Okay, so what do you think? If both those points simultaneously running at the same point of time, then is both of these are good for the Indian economy? Okay, now I hope all of you are understanding the questions. Okay, so I think most of you are now understanding the question, that what the question actually demanding, and most of the students actually thought that when they know about GDP and inflation, okay, they have command on this question and they start writing the answers. Okay, about GDP, about inflations, okay, types of inflations. Fine, don't do these kinds of mistakes. So what the question is actually asking, what is the demands of the questions, you have to understand it that. Otherwise, the first thing about the qualifications in mains examinations of even in PCS exam, okay, lower exams than UPSC, then first of all you have to analyze that what the question is actually demanding. If you are able to find out that point you can write your answers. Even you are not knowing the whole facts, you can write your answers in a beautiful way. But if you are not able to find a way that what the question is actually demanding, then sorry students, you are not going to qualify this examination. Okay, fine. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So what's your opinion? So how you should start it? Okay, how you should start to write the answers? Okay, so first of all, actually what's your opinion? If in positive way or in negative way? I hope it's in positive way. So start with sentences that will actually give a strength to your answer. Okay, so you can start with your own languages. Okay, and I hope you will write all those answers and send it to me. Okay, 5 to 6 students already send their answers of essay. Okay, we are going to check it and re-verify it, and after that we will send them. Fine, it's really good and healthy for all of you. So try to write your answers. I will give the feedback. Okay, I have told you that what the question is actually demanding. Fine. So even if you don't know about GDP and inflation, okay, you can write the answers. You can write the answers. Definitely you can write the answers. Okay, you can try to write the answers. Okay, fine. By not putting the facts and figures, you can write. Okay, there will be a practicing to writing the answers of these kinds of questions. So I hope what the question is actually demanding, this is clear to all of you. I just want to tell you that my main focus today is to analyze the same thing, that what the question is actually demanding. If you are able to grip on that part, definitely you will able to qualify this mains examination. There is a possibility, otherwise not at all. Fine. So I hope it is clear to all of you this question. So I am moving to the next question. Okay, the next question is also from 2019. It's also a UPSC question asked by UPSC. Okay, it's the question which has already been asked by the UPSC. Today I will deal with 5 questions. Okay, all those questions have already been asked from 2016 to 19 by the UPSC in mains examinations, either from paper 1, 2, 3 or 4. Now let's see. Question number 2. Okay, I am reading it. What is India's plan to have its own space station? Okay, and how will it benefit for our space program? It's look a very simple kind of question, but not at all. This is not simple at all. Okay, it's a question already been asked by the UPSC. Now try to understand that what actually question is demanding. Okay, if you will read about science and tech subject, I will also teach you in science and tech subject. You will get that there is already International Space Station. Okay, there is already present International Space Station ISS. Okay, now India is planning to launch its own 20-ton space station. Okay, in few years. In 2019, this was in news. Okay, because means a great personality of ISRO have given this statement in 2019 that we are planning to settle up a space station for specifically launched by India, okay, in upcoming years. So that's why, because of only those current affairs, this question has been asked. So see how actually science and tech questions will be asked 95% by current affairs, by following the current affairs. Okay, so if you are not a science students, okay, there is no hesitate at all, because the questions will come only on current affairs. Since in 2019 this was in news, that's why a question has been asked by the UPSC in 2019 mains examinations, okay, in science and tech subjects. It's about JS paper 3. Okay, so what is, now understand the questions. I am reading the questions. What is India's plan to have its own space station? Okay, first of all, this question is not asking that is India planning to launch its own space station? No. Okay, the question is already asking that what is India's plan? What is India's plan? Okay, it means there is already a plan existing. Okay, and the UPSC is asking you that what are those plans? The question is not asking, understand that clearly, the question is not asking that is India planning to launch its own space station, okay, in comparison with International Space Station. No. If you will analyze the question, you can see that the question has already said that yes, India has planned to launch its own space station. But what are those plans? The question is asking only those aspects. Now again I am reading the questions. What is India's plan to have its own space station? Okay, what are the plan of India's and how will it benefit for our space program? So here are two questions. In this single questions, two questions has been asked. The first questions, what is India's plan to have its own space station, and the second question, how this will benefit. Okay, if this will happen, definitely this will happen, we will hope so. So if this happen in upcoming years, then how it will benefit for our space program. Okay, like India launched their Mars mission, okay, moon mission. So how it will actually benefit for Indian space program. Okay, now again hear me clearly, don't try to write your answers and start compare India's plan to launch its own space station, settle up on a space station with International Space Station. Don't start to compare, because the question is not asking that at all. Fine, if you will try to compare between International Space Station and Indian Space Station that India is trying to settle up in upcoming years, then definitely you are missing the points that is asking by the UPSC by this question. Okay, this question is asking mainly two aspects, that yes, India is planning, but what are those plans? Okay, so you have to put your facts and figures, put some statements, okay, of scientists, okay, even of any authentic leaders, okay, or even any authentic kind of data. Okay, you have to put the plans. Okay, now after putting the plans, you have to tell that how this plan, when this plan will be achieved, then how it will be benefit for our space program, how it will benefit for our space program, not asking that how it will benefit for our space program in comparison with other nations, not asking. Okay, so how it will going to affect the Indian space system. Okay, so how it will be benefit, only ask by about benefit. So in this question always try to be in positive way. Okay, positive way, don't move beyond this way. Okay, otherwise you will going to miss the marks. Fine, since I have read 3 times this question, so I hope all of you are getting it right now. I am repeating it again. Okay, I am repeating it again in 1 or 2 minutes. See, the question is, what is India's plan to have its own space station and how will it benefit for Indian space program? Okay, so the question is already saying that yes, India has planned to launch its own space station, to settle up its own space station. India has already planned. Okay, so don't try to write your answers in that way that yes, India should plan to launch its own space station. See, hear my word carefully. Don't, okay, don't try to write in this way like India should try to launch its own space station, okay, to overcome with other nations. No, India should, okay, and India must, but India has already taken the decision to launch. Okay, so you have to just say that what are those plans, not use the word should here. Okay, because it is a must word and already decision has been taken. So who are you to decide that whether it should be done or not should be done? it has already been decided that yes, it will be done. So how it will be done, what are the plans, you have to write only those plans. Okay, so try to find out in this way. If you want to crack the mains examinations, try to analyze the questions in this way, otherwise you will be confused. Okay, after that, now see the second part of the questions. In a single questions, two questions has been asked. How will it benefit for our space program? So how the plan is going to benefit, it is not asking. The questions, the aim of the question is that whenever this plan will be achieved, then how it will become a benefit part for Indian space program. Okay, for our space program. Fine. So really I hope now you are getting all of the aspects about these questions. This is a GS paper 3 questions, okay, about science and technology. So I hope 2 questions I have cleared. Okay, little with hesitation what you have already in your mind, I hope I am able to clarify all those. If not, then please ask your doubts to our team and even to me. Fine. So I am moving to the next question. Now the third questions. Okay, third question. Question number 3 is, okay, I hope it is visible to all of you. So I am reading it. Okay, stay calm. India's relations with Israel have of late acquired a development, okay, development and diversity which cannot be rolled back. Discuss. This is 2018 questions. Okay, international relation questions. GS paper 2 international relation questions. It means polity and international relation, there is a subject in UPSC and the question is from international relations. Okay, so I am repeating the question again. India's relations with Israel have of late acquired a development and diversity which cannot be rolled back. The question is asking that whatever the relations in 2018, okay, stick in 2018 now. So in 2018, just suppose that, assume that you are in 2018, okay, only when you will able to qualify these questions. Now see, India and Israel has a good relation when Netanyahu was the main leader of Israel. Right now Netanyahu was not the main leader of Israel, yet India has good relation with Israel. But when Netanyahu was the main leader of Israel in 2018, then the relation between India and Israel is at peak position. Okay, at peak position. So the question is asking that the development between the relations between India and Israel have come at a point from where, from that point we cannot roll back. Okay, we cannot return back. Okay, we should not return back from that point, from that relation, because we have achieved that relation with Israel. Okay, and you already know that Israel supplied arms to India also. Okay, fighter jets and some other things, other equipments. What are those necessary things? Okay, so whatever India has achieved its relation to Israel, okay, in 2018, we should not roll back our relation with Israel. Okay, we should keep continuing or going more ahead with the relation. Don't roll back. Okay, discuss. So whenever this kind of questions, you have to put some kinds of facts and figures. Okay, the facts is that, and some statements too. Some visiting of the main leader of Israel in India, some visiting of Indian Prime Minister to Israel too. Okay, so in this way you will able to clear all these questions. Okay, so this question is little bit easy in comparison with earlier 2 questions. Okay, even if you know about something about India and Israel relations, then you can write your beautiful answer if you are able to qualify and find out that what the question is actually demanding. Okay, here the question is not asking about your opinion. The question is saying that yes, India has good relations with Israel, taken a good shape relation with Israel, okay, in diversity, which cannot be rolled back, okay, which cannot be rolled back. Not asking that it should be rolled back or not. The question is itself saying that cannot be rolled back, okay, cannot be returned, okay. So you have to give your answers in positive way in this question too. Don't move beyond positive way. You have to find out, okay, that how you should write the answers, okay. So you have to write the answers in positive way, okay. Steadily, okay, gradually you will find out all these, okay. If you will try to write the answers, okay, in 150 words, even if you write in 170 or 130, it's okay, okay, don't mind it, okay, it's okay, fine. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next question, okay. This is an international relation question. Since in 2018, actually what happened that between Indian Prime Minister and Israeli main leader, that is Netanyahu, both have a actually very good friendship kind of nature, okay. So that is why India was at the peak position in relation with when we compared about some other nations at Israel, fine. That's why the question was asked by UPSC. So see how current affairs is playing the role in each and every subjects. I will take all the current affairs classes not based on the facts only. I will present all those ideas, relations with all parts of GS papers 1, 2, 3, 4. Like if there is a lake, okay, and whose water goes red or pink during the night time, this has happened, okay, in one lake. So I will not tell only the name of that lake, but beyond that I will try to analyze that what kind of mains questions can be asked by this fact in GS paper 1, in GS paper 2, 3 and 4. Only when you will read the current affairs in this way, only when you are able to qualify this examination. Otherwise, don't think that you will get a good marks in mains examinations, okay. So now I will tell and deal with the question number 4, the same one, stick on it, okay. I am reading the questions. See, India and USA are two large democracies. I hope till now I have covered almost 30 lectures on polity. Till now you have got that India and USA are one of the means larger democratic countries in the global level, okay, in the world. Examine the basic, not a text, okay, it's about facts. Examine the basic facts on which the two political system are based. So now try to read the question again. After that you will find out what is the question actually demanding. See, again I am writing the question. India and USA are two larger democracy, okay, fine. See, this is not a question, this is a statement, and don't try to write your answers that yes, India is the largest democratic country in the world, okay, and after India, US is also one of the larger democratic country in the world, okay. No, this is a statement, this is only a statement, this is not a question. You have to left it. The question starts from here itself, okay. Actually most of the students confused that and they thought that they have to write their answers, okay, and compare India and USA political systems. No, India and USA are two large democracies, okay. So this is a statement, this is not a question, okay. So now you have to left it. The question starts from here. Examine the basic facts on which the two political systems are based. So what kind of political systems present in India? First of all, you should know, but don't write it, okay, that India, in Indian this is political system and in USA this is political system, okay. You will write it but in main body part, not in introduction, okay. So see, examine the basic facts on which the two political systems are based. So what kind of political system based in India and what kind of political system based in USA. Question is asking about political systems, not about democracies. Okay, actually 95% or what 99% of students miss this question only why, because they always try to write the answers of this question that Indian democracy is an indirect democracy and USA democracy is direct democracy. Okay, they will write their answers in this way. Definitely, I am sure they actually write. I have seen it. Okay, so the question is not asking about democracy, democratic index, okay, or direct democracy or indirect democracy. No, the question is asking about only about political system. This is a statement. Till that point, democracy, this is only a statement. This is not a question. The question is starting from examine. UPSC puts this kind of a statement to confuse the students. Okay, to confuse the students, and the students really confused in it and start to write the answers about democracies of India and USA, and after writing that they will come to this point about political systems, and whenever examiner is going to check your copy, the impression of your writing will definitely going too much bad to the examiner's mind, because they will read mainly on the first part of your answers. Okay, they will read your introduction of 4 to 5 lines, and when they will feed that you are just moving beyond what the question is demanding, okay, there will be a normalization kinds of marks you will get. So this is a 2018 question. This is also, it is not international relation question, it is a political science related questions. Okay, it's a GS paper 2 questions, political science. Fine. So I hope it is clear to all of you that what the question is actually demanding. Okay, you have to write it. Okay, and what the question is not demanding, most of the students actually write those kinds of answers. Fine. So this difference is actually between the qualified students and unqualified students, disqualified students. Fine. These kinds of differences actually appear. They find this, but after examination. Okay, and I am telling you before the examination, this is a benefit part for all of you. So I will cover the last question of today's session, and tomorrow is the off day. I already announced it. Okay, because of some technical reasons. Okay, I tried so much hard, our team tried so much hard, but due to some network issues actually and technical issues, we thought that it's better to avoid tomorrow session. Okay, so we will avoid tomorrow session, and we will start our current affairs classes and preliminary and mains, all the subject classes from the day after tomorrow. Okay, of a full length. Okay, a larger time frame session, almost 10 to 12 hours session. Okay, so I will go into the next question and the final question of today's session. Okay, fine. So moving to the next one. See, now till now I hope that you are trying to find out yourself that what are the question actually demanding. Okay, I hope now you are practicing by your own, but it's my duty to tell you even this question too. So I am reading the questions. Hear me clearly and focus here. See, the Indian party system. Party system means what? It's a normal party. Okay, as persons enjoy or not? No, not. It's a party system. Indian party system means political party system. Okay, you are not a kid. Okay, you are a UPSC aspirant. So don't behave like kids. Fine. The Indian party system is passing through a phase of transition. Transition means, I hope transition means you easily get it. Transition means like I am giving the examples. Okay, in easily way so that you can get it. Like if you play cricket, you can find it easily. Okay, you will. I am just giving the example. Like in 2003 World Cup, who is the captain of Indian cricket team? Actually, SG Sourav Ganguly was the captain. Okay, and after that another captain have come and lead this same team. Okay, some kind of changes. So there is a transition phase. Transition phase. Some of the main players. Okay, some of the key facts, some of the key figures, some of the salient features. Okay, some of the fundamental fact, some of the fundamental things is being left here, okay, and some of the new men are joining this team. Okay, some of the main players are lefting this team, and some of the new men, some of the new players are actually fulfilling their place. So this is actually called as transition. Okay, so I hope what the actually transition means I am able to clarify it. Otherwise, transition means different kind of perception every students find out. That's why I have given this example. Otherwise, it's not necessary. Okay, I have given it only for to understand this question. Otherwise, you will miss this transition word. Then definitely you will not able to answer this question at all. Because if you will ask from me that what is the one main point, key point in this question, then it is transition. Transition in Indian political party system. Okay, so I am reading the questions. Stay on it. See, the Indian party system or the Indian political party system is passing through a phase of transition. This is a 2016 question. Okay, 2016 question. Passing through a phase of transition. So what is transition? I have already told you. What is transition? I have already told you. I am repeating it again. Hear me. Okay, with other examples. Because if you will not get about transition, you will miss this question and not understand it. Okay, see, transition means actually what happens. See, if we provide some that India adopted liberalization policy in 1990s almost approx, and Rao Manmohan model was responsible for it. Fine, Rao was the prime minister and Manmohan Singh was the actually finance minister at that time. That's why it is called that Rao Manmohan model. Okay, in 1990 liberalization policy. So in Rao Manmohan model, they set a criteria, they set a benchmark of liberalization policy. Okay, so you can say that this benchmark has been replaced by someone else at present time. Okay, at present time. So this is a transition phase. Okay, this is a transition phase. It's a natural thing. This is a transition phase. Okay, anyone new person will come and try to occupy those places. Okay, try to occupy the places of main posts. Okay, main things, fundamental things. Okay, in a single sentence, if you ask the definition of transition, then I will tell you that whenever any fundamental primary things will be replaced by some means a new things or new fundamental or new primary things, then those gap is called transitional phase. Okay, transitional phase, transition phase. Like a simple example, like the most simple example, like most of the students say that, and most Indians say that in Indian cricket, Virat Kohli is right now the Sachin Tendulkar of present time. Okay, so this is a transitional phase. Sachin Tendulkar has taken retirement from international cricket, and Virat Kohli is right now playing his role. Okay, in Indian cricket, for Indian cricket. So this is a transitional phase. Okay, transitional phase means till that time, whenever they have not achieved, the new person have not achieved the place of the previous person, the gap between both these is called transitional phase. Now I hope you are easily getting what is transitional phase. Okay, so now we will deal with this question. Fine, we will deal with this question. Stay on it. See, I am reading it again from starting. The Indian party system is passing through a phase of transition which looks or seems to be full of contradictions and paradoxes. Discuss. Okay, so here you have to criticize the whole things. This transitional phase you have to criticize it, because the question is already being saying that about contradictions. You have to criticize this transitional phase in Indian polity system in 2016. Like what actually happened that in 2014 general election, okay, new government has been formed of NDA, okay, National Democratic Alliance, fine, and UPA, United Progressive Alliance, lost the general election, fine. So NDA has taken some kind of bold decisions, okay, bold decisions that looks and seems that little with contradictions to, okay, some will support, some will oppose definitely, but the question is asking itself, so that's why you have to criticize this transitional phase, okay. The question is not asking, again I am repeating here, the question is not asking that is India passing through transitional phase or not. The question is not asking that is India passing through a transitional phase or not. The question itself said that yes, India is passing through transitional phase, okay, but this transitional phase actually the full of contradictions and paradoxes, okay, full of contradictions. The question itself saying that India is passing through transitional phase in Indian political system, in Indian political party system, okay. The question itself said yes, India is passing through transitional phase in this Indian political party system, but what are actually, the question is saying that yes, it is a contradictions, this transitional phase is full of contradictions. So how you will write your answers that yes, this transitional phase is full of contradiction and paradoxes. This is actually the question is demanding, okay. The question is actually demanding that, the question itself saying that, I am repeating it again, the question itself saying that yes. So see, many of the students what they do that yes, they will give the examples that yes, India is passing through a transitional phase, okay. No, don't try to write your answer in this way, because the question is not asking that is India passing through a transitional phase or not asking your examples. Yes, the question is itself saying that yes, India is passing through transitional phase in Indian political party system, but the question is also saying that the question is also saying that this transitional phase is full of contradictions and paradoxes. So how, what are your arguments, facts, figure, logics to support these statements? You have to support this statement, you have no choice, okay. You have to be in neutralized way and support this statement, you have no choice, okay. So what are your arguments to say that this transitional phase in Indian political party system is full of contradiction? The question is actually demanding this, okay, what I am trying to say. I hope till now with 5 questions at least you are able to find out that what is actually question demanding, okay. If you are able to get me what I have told you in 5 questions, it's good. Even if you are not able to find out what I am trying to saying, then to again see the lectures, these lectures, 1 time, 2 time, 3 times, see it, okay, 3-4 times, okay, you will easily get it, because I am using the simple kind of languages that will not going to make any tough one, okay, for any kind of students, fine. So I hope I have picked up those 5 questions, our team has picked up those 5 kinds of diversity questions, okay, diverse questions, not a stick on same one, okay. So my main aim was to find out that what actually you have to get it, that what actually question wants to demand, okay. In the 4th number questions, the first line is only a statement, not a questions, and most of the students start writing and give their introduction on that statement. That is not a question, that is only a statement. UPSC has put that statement to confuse the students. The question was starting from examine. Go to previous question, question number 4, okay. I am moving to the previous slide, okay. So moving to the previous slide, question number 4. See, this is a statement, okay. UPSC has put this sentence to confuse the students only, okay. If you are trying to write and introduce your answers, introduction of this line, then you are definitely going to average a score, okay. The question start from here itself. So moving to the 5th number question, okay, move next slide, question number 5. I hope it is also clear to all of you. So if any other question remain, I hope so, only 5 questions I picked, so yet I will see that if any other question remain. So moving to the next one, if any other remain, I hope it's over. No, it's over, okay. So yesterday I have taken essay class. That was a really nice class. Students are really appreciating it. Okay, and today it's a first men's answer writing practice session. Tomorrow session will be off. Okay, tomorrow there will be no class schedule because of, already told you, because of some network issues and technical issues. Our team is really doing hard work on it. Okay, and we are definitely going to resolve the issue tomorrow. We are 100% sure. But since it's not really comfortable to take tomorrow class because it will be 50% and 50%. Okay, it will be a doubtful kind of. Okay, so it's far better to be clear than be in doubt. Okay, that's why I have suspended tomorrow class, and we will continue from the day after tomorrow with 6-hour lecture of current affairs. And we have already prepared the PPT of current affairs, all the PPTs of polity classes. Okay, and history, geography, science and tech, our team has already prepared. So we will start those classes from the day after tomorrow. Really, those sessions will be, those sessions will be from 10 to even goes to 14 to 15 hours too. Okay, because it's my commitment to complete the course by, the deadline is 10th of September, but I will try my best that on 31st of August, okay, till 31st of August I have to complete the full syllabus, and I will complete. Okay, if I will not complete, then its maximum it will go to the 10th of September. Fine. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So tomorrow class will be suspended only for tomorrow. The day after tomorrow we will start the sessions. Okay, so thank you for seeing our lectures, and really I hope all of you are enjoying these lectures. So thank you. We will meet the day after tomorrow. Okay, not tomorrow. Thank you, students.